probably the makeup look that got me through college. This is pretty much what I look like in college, except the sindoor, of course. That's my college makeup look, right there. Lipstick, mascara, kajal. Good to go. Hi, this is RGV and you're watching RGV Love, where I am the crazy Indian mother. A lot of you have been asking me to do a video on how to play with your child, and let me be honest, I'm not an expert. I'm a new mother to an 8-month-old, so I will only tell you what I know, obviously. I can only tell you what research, whatever I had done and what I thought was good for Aryaveer and what I did as a mother for him. So this is going to be a video on how to play with your child if your child is 0 to 6 months old, because that is the only experience I have so far. Hopefully I'll do like an updated version of 6 to 12 months once Aryaveer is 12 months old. I don't know when I'll do like an updated version, but this is what I know and that's the video. First of all, I think the one thing that I found very useful when we brought Aryaveer back home was a cot mobile. They were just toys that were hanging on top of him from his cot mobile. He was really tiny, okay? He was like 0 months old. We came back home, I think within 3 days of him being born. The third day we were back home, and we got the cot mobile around when he was like 1 week or 2 weeks old. What it did help in was because a newborn is mostly only looking up and nowhere else, because the baby doesn't really know how to kind of move his head. They do move their head a little bit, but major amount of time they're just looking up. So if your up is not interesting, then what are they looking at really? So from my research, I found that they could look at colors which are black, white and red, and like the distance had to be this much or this much. I think just Google it, how much distance can a newborn see, and this is how far they could see. Black, white and red was something they can see very sharply when they're like 0 months old. So we had a cot mobile hanging on top of Aryaveer when he was very young, and I would wind that up. That also had a music and it would go round and round, and it was a Little Red Riding Hood cot mobile. So there was a Little Red Riding Hood, there was a grandma and there was a wolf. So the wolf was blue in color, the grandma I think was green, and the Little Red Riding Hood was obviously red in color. And I did notice that Aryaveer stared at the Little Red Riding Hood only. Like the rest of them, he didn't really bother looking at them much. He did look at them, but he didn't really follow them, like when they were kind of going in rounds. So he would never really follow any other. But the Little Red Riding Hood, he would follow till a little extent, because obviously like he was like a week-year-old. I cannot expect him to follow the entire circle, but just a little bit he would follow. What is that? What is happening? Why is that moving? So that I found very useful, and it also makes sense that you have a cot mobile, or even if you don't buy a cot mobile or you don't have a cot, just hang things on top of the baby in a way that he or she has something to look upon, because I mean the roof is not interesting. He can't even look to the roof. And more than toys, any day me talking to him or me being really close to his face was way more interesting for him. Even now, he finds it much more interesting to play with me than to play with toys. So he's much more interested in pulling my hair, pulling my nose, kissing my nose, biting my cheeks, and pulling playing drums on my tummy. He's much more interested in playing with me, playing with a human, than he is playing with an inanimate with an object which doesn't move. So from day one, try to make sure that you spend time with the baby, because that is important. Now, how do you spend time with the baby? Because like right now at 8 months, even after 3 months, the baby do get interactive. So it's easier to play with them in a way because they interact back. So if you make them laugh, they will laugh, so you will do that again. So that's like an interaction happening between you and the baby. But before 3 months, the babies do nothing at all. They just lie there looking up on the roof. That's it. That's all they do. And they do shoo-shoo potty. That's it. And they sleep. So how do you interact with somebody who does nothing? I don't know if it was the most stupidest thing that I did or it was the most intelligent thing that I did, but I used to read the newspaper to Aryaveer. Like I had this app on the phone that's In Short, if you've heard of it. It's like it gives news in like a couple of lines, not a couple of lines, but like in 3-4 sentences. So I kind of started reading him the news every day, every morning, which kind of, because for me it was very difficult. What do I talk to him? Like, what do I say? If you're a first time mother, you don't even know what to say to a baby because you've never said anything to a baby, right? Except the casual meeting with your cousin who had a baby, you have never met a baby. So when he was a newborn, I just didn't know what to talk to him. And everywhere I read was like, talk to your baby, keep talking to your baby, because talking to your baby would help. But talk what? So I used to read in the newspaper, because anyways, even if I would have talked to him normally, he wouldn't have understood anything at all. He would have just seen me and looked at me and looked like, mom kuch babble kar rahi hai, but I don't know what the hell she's saying, right? So I might as well read up on news, like let me be aware of current issues. I don't know, I have no idea why I read in the news, but my point is, read the baby something, whatever you want to read them, because at that point of time they know absolutely nothing and they just don't know what you're reading to them, so you might as well read something that you want to read to him. I also told him this whole story of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah, I think the main point is basically to talk to the baby, and that is valid even now. Like, it's valid all across all ages. Talk to your child, man. Third thing that I found very useful, especially for a newborn, and well, till the age your child allows you to do it, is a massage. A massage is a very, very, very good way to bond with your baby. I know Indians, we usually say it's very good for the strength of the baby, it's very good for the bones of the baby, it's very good for this, it's very good for that. Honestly, it's very good for you to bond with the baby. Aryaveer laughed for the first time while I was massaging him. He kind of started to recognize me while I was massaging him. A lot of interaction, the initial interaction that happened between me and Aryaveer was during our massages, because that was the most fun time that we had in the whole day. Because otherwise I would either be just feeding him, or I'll be reading the news to him, or I'll just be cleaning him, or I'll just be doing something for him. You can't really play with a newborn much, because newborns don't stay awake for a long period of time, right? Except if that newborn is Aryaveer, because he didn't sleep much. But the point is, while you're massaging the baby gets to look at you. So while you're massaging him, just make sure your face is again at that certain distance where the baby can still see you. And then you massage the arms and the legs, and then you play. You have to like pull the baby's arms up and do cycle motions with their legs and things. There are a lot of videos on YouTube about how to do a massage for a baby. Just Google that or YouTube that, whatever. The point is, massaging was a very good playtime for us because we had a very good interaction, and it took like 15-20 minutes, which is a lot of time for a newborn baby. So that's another way you can play with your baby. Fourth thing I highly recommend it is a play gym. We started using play gym for Aryaveer after he turned a month old, and the play gym that we started off with was a play gym that was intended for kids above 6 months old. He actually got that as a gift, but I was like, let's just open it and see, because Aryaveer anyways is interested in his surroundings, so let's just open and see how he reacts. And he actually did kind of play in that play gym. Like, if I would lay him down, he would kind of get excited, however excited a newborn can get, and he would look at the things. There was a toy that was kind of hanging down, he would look at that, he would look at something else. So, and this was when he was 1 month old, okay, and once I thought that, okay, fine, he's really getting interested in play gyms, let me get something that I feel is good for him. Like, the play gym he got was also good, but it required a little more motor skills than just lying down and looking. So I thought, let me just get him a gym which has more toys that are hanging and which encourages his leg movements, and that was the Fisher Price piano play gym. I'm going to insert a photo here. I'm also going to link that down below in the description box, because I highly recommend it. Aryaveer played with that till he was like almost 6-7 months old. So it was a very good investment. It's not extremely cheap, it's not extremely pricey, it's like normally priced. The thing is, it's good for a baby, it's good for his development. Aryaveer played a lot with it, and he could easily play with it 10-15 minutes without being supervised, which was brilliant. And to a mind who doesn't know how long newborns are, or if you don't have a child yet and you're just watching this to prepare for the future, 15-20 minutes for a newborn baby is a lot of time. It's a lot of time. So that was good. Of course, as he grew older, the time he spent in the play gym grew, and now because now he won't lie down, right? Because he's 8 months old. He's running around, not really running around, but he's crawling all over the place. He's trying to stand all over the place. So that play gym is not useful for him now. But the play gym, the good thing about that is I can remove all the toys. Now he plays with the toys separately, and he still plays with the piano. The piano is also detachable, and he can now play with it with his hands. So that has a long-term use. So I highly recommend that. Get that. And of course, lastly, fresh air and moving around and just kind of dancing with the baby. All of these are very fun activities, especially when your child grows older. He will love it when you swing him around, or when you just hold him and take circles. Babies love it when you dance, okay? So dance, sing, do all the fun stuff, all the stupid stuff. Do it, because they will absolutely love it. Now, the most important thing of all, don't worry. It's okay if you're not playing with your child. It's okay if your child is not playing with a toy. It's okay if your child is not learning anything, because children are learning every single point in their life. You don't need, even if you are not interacting with them, even if you are not teaching them anything, even if you have not given them a toy that helps in their motor development, or which helps in their emotional, physical, mental development, they are still learning. And the most important lesson that they're learning is the lesson to how to get bored. Because, and I'm not saying this in a funny way, I'm saying this in a serious way, because the generation today that I've heard of do not know how to sit idle. They do not know how to not do anything. Because us as parents, we have always given them activities to do. If they're sitting quietly, we're like, why are you sitting quietly? Go do this, go do that, do this, do that. We are not teaching them how to sit idly and not do anything. How to sit on a chair and just look at that light for hours. We're not teaching them that, and that's not correct. Because end of the day, they're going to get tensed. Every time they will not have anything to do, they will get tensed. And that's that. I'm not sure if I want Aryaveer to feel tensed if I'm not giving him a toy to play with. I purposely in the afternoon do not give him any toy to play with. I do not interact with him. Like, I'm around, but I'm not playing with him. I don't give him any toys to play with. I let him play with his surroundings. And I have done this since he was very young, and even till now when he's 8 months old and he needs things, he needs interactive stuff to happen around him. I just don't, because I want to teach my child that it's okay to sit and not have something to do, because that is one lesson that's very important in life, and that is one lesson that nobody else is going to teach him. Because once he starts school and once he starts preschool, his life is going to be consumed with things he has to do, and his brain will not know how to take a break. Like, I think one of the most irritating thing that I find about myself is I don't know how to take a break. And this was very valid before Aryaveer was born. I did not know how to stop. I did not know how to sit idle and not do anything. Like, if I wasn't doing something productive, I would get tensed, I would get irritated, I would get sad, I would get depressed that I'm not doing anything productive. And I think after I had Aryaveer, I kind of learned how to slow down. I kind of learned that even if I'm not doing anything, even if I'm not doing a productive thing, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to take a little break in life. That's okay. And I want to teach that to him early in life, that it's okay if you spend an hour in a day not doing anything, because you need that break. And I think that is the one thing that I had never find in any videos or any how to play with a child, things that you have to let the child play on his own. Let him do it. Let Let him explore. Just leave the child alone. Don't worry. They will learn everything. Don't worry. And that's it. I don't even know if half of that made sense to you, but if it did, then please give it a big thumbs up and also click that subscribe button, because I make new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Sometimes my Monday videos come out on Tuesday because they are vlogs and they're very long. It takes a lot of time to render them and upload them, but no excuses. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.